Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm ForClassic and welcome to BenchART. So, today we have a new Rock Company, a game developed by the First Watch Games, and it is using Unreal Engine 4, this is their first project, and this will be a free-to-play game as soon as it is released. So I'm playing with 720p low settings on the GT 740M, which is pretty much equivalent to a GT 920M, alright? So this game asks pretty much for a GTX 560 and 4GB of RAM. Well, I do recommend you to have 8GB of RAM because it makes a good difference regarding stuttering. And, well, I'm not really sure where the GT 740M or the GT 920M places comparing to the GTX 560, but what I do know, it is perfectly possible to play Rogue Company with 720p low settings, and I will display the results just right now. So as you can see, I did test with the native resolution on median settings, and I got an average of 50 frames per second with a 1% low of 30. I don't really recommend you to go with median, I do recommend you to go with 720p low, because the performance it is way better with averages around 69 frames per second and a 1% low of 39. This is a good result overall, despite the minimums, because you are able to play the game for the most part above 60 frames per second. And this is a highly competitive game, and so I do recommend you to stay as close as possible as 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, on this recording, the frame rate were really affected, and you can even hear sound stuttering. This sound stuttering doesn't happen when you are playing the game normally, just when I'm recording, alright? So it's a thing that only happens when I do record and the CPU it is at 100% or close to it, which is what is happening. The game runs way much better than the way that you are seeing in here on the MS Afterburner, because the recording it is taking a ton of resources from the CPU, which is useful for this game. So without recording, the game runs with the same frame rate that I did show you on that graph. Alright, that's what you should know. The game runs fine. But to better explain to you how it runs, so basically these moments inside the plane and when you are dropping into the map, into the battlefield, those are the most demanding moments. After you reach the battlefield down there, the map, the game runs mostly above 60 frames per second with no issues. It is only when you get into a firefight with a big mixture of your teammates and enemies at the same place, explosions and smoke grenades, all that stuff together that brings the frame rate lower than 60 frames per second. But the game, it is absolutely playable nonetheless, and I'm pretty sure you can make very good games with this. So it's absolutely playable. I do recommend you, as soon as this game gets into free-to-play form, I do recommend you to get the game for playing multiplayer with your friends, because the game runs just fine. Alright, so that's it. But what is Rock Company? Rock Company, it is a free-to-play game that will be available throughout, on Epic Store, which is something that I know that most of the people don't really enjoy, but it will be free on Epic Store, alright? For now, by the time of this video, it is not available as a free-to-play form, so you need to receive invites for the closed beta, which was my case in here, or you need to buy the Foundry pack, which costs $29.99. But as a suggestion, just save your money and wait for the free-to-play version. Alright, that's the secret. And this game, it is kind of a mixture between CS and Valorant, alright? So each character have its own classes and weapons and perks that you can buy throughout the game. Each match that you finish, you receive money to upgrade your own weapon, and that's about it. So it works pretty much like Valorant and CS, but it is a third-person shooter, which makes it different than many of the games. I think it is rather interesting. The scenarios are also very small, and yeah, I think it resembles more Valorant, but without the fantasy stuff. At least for now, there isn't too much fantasy. It is more and less realistic, alright? It has this cartoonish look and feel, but it is highly competitive game, and it will be free to play, so we have nothing wrong to say about it. For now, the only thing that I don't think that is working as properly as it should be on the beta, it is really the physics. Sometimes you die and see your character go fly to the other part of the map or anything like it. So this game also have other game modes, but I think this one that I'm actually playing at the moment will be its competitive mode. So it will be like the bomb of CS:GO, which is the best competitive mode that you can play. This one will be the competitive mode of Rogue Troopers, Rogue Company, I mean. This game will be fully released this year, but I'm still not sure which date will be. I'm not sure which month. They didn't really specify. The only thing that I do know is that it will be released this year as a free-to-play game. And honestly, I do suck playing at this, but it is quite fun and fast to start and finish a match. Alright, so again, guys, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I've got the objective.
We control the site. Defend it. Eliminated. Beautifully done.
Now is the sport show. Need a hand.
I love getting paid! Enemy spotted. I'm down! Gets me up.
Need help.
All friendlies eliminated. Regroup.
I love these things!
Go here.
Go here. Lethal out.
Need help.
And get up on your feet.
Good.
Need help.
You crushed us. Run it again.
Okay.
Move here. Lethal out.
Lethal out!
Need help!
Lethal out! Get me up!
He crushed us. Run it again.
Okay. Deploying utility. Lethal out! Lethal out!
Lethal out.
Need a hand.
I'm down!
Come at me, bros!
Ben wiped out. Halfway through. Switching sides. We're on the defensive.